house is a terrible investment.
You sure about that?
Here's why I think Uncle G is wrong. So Grant Cardone, he's great. He knows what he's talking about. He knows real estate. But there's just some things that I think he's just incorrect on. First of all, let's begin with his first point.
Because you have to buy the house. Because you got to lock into a 30-year loan.
You're not locked in for 30 years. Let's get that straight. You can definitely position yourself on a 20-year mortgage, 15, 10, 5 years, however long you want. And there's so many options today that are available that you can actually pay down your property faster than the whole 30 years.
Because you have to pay property taxes for 30 years that you have no control over. You have to put insurance on a house. The local government will make more money on that house. They make 2% a year in Florida, regardless of what you make.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, the government collects the property tax to then reinvest it back into your neighborhood that you're paying into. The property taxes cover the local police department, the fire department, the local hospital, schools in the neighborhood, all the road work that happens. All this money gets pulled in for these services. I mean, if you own property, you're going to have to pay the property tax. It's a different story where in certain areas the property taxes are absurd, but that's a whole different topic. Let's talk about insurance. Whether you're buying an expensive watch or you're buying a Toyota or a BMW, you're definitely going to carry insurance because it is your asset. And if something was to happen to that asset, you want it to be covered and to be replaced instead of your pockets by the insurer. So just like that, if you have a property, which for a lot of people is the most expensive piece of asset that they own, why would you not have it insured? Not having insurance on your property is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You definitely want to carry insurance in case of any kind of natural disaster or a mishap within the house. So that'll cover you in all your repairs and you don't have to come out of pocket for the entire rebuild of your property.
Understand that real estate brokers will make 12%, whether you make money or not. Bank of America and Wells Fargo have gotten rich in the trillions of dollars because you went and leveraged or mortgaged yourself basically to the masters of the universe.
And this is very funny when he talks about brokers at 12%. Uncle G, I think you need a new realtor. You got to call me. I won't charge you 12, I'll charge you 11.5. But no, brokers don't make 12% on real estate transactions. And in today's market, only the best of the best are even walking away with 6%. And most, it's around 3%, 2%, 4%, around there. But again, it all depends on the neighborhood, the market, the realtor, who you're dealing with, everything. But definitely, I have never heard of a broker getting paid 12%. And if they did, I hope they deserved it. That's all I can say. Okay, well, where else are you going to get money from if it's not the banks? The banks are the ones that have millions of dollars to lend you. Unless you have $1 million, 500, whatever the price is of the house you're buying, then you don't need to take a mortgage, so you can skip that entire process. But the way I look at a mortgage is the fact that if I'm going in with 20% down, the bank is taking the other 80% risk against me, not the market. The market going up or down is the same amount of risk for the homeowner and for the banks. But the bank is taking a risk on me as the borrower. And the only way they can offset that risk is with interest. That's how they make their money. They don't make their money off the property tax or the insurance. They make their money off of interest. And if you pay late, the fees that are involved. I mean, that's kind of just how the banking system works. Just like credit cards, you borrow money, you pay interest on the money you've borrowed unless you pay in full beforehand. So with the house as well, and in many banks don't have any prepayment penalties. Means if you purchase a property, a month, 2 months, 2 days, 6 months later, you hit the lottery or you somehow came into a ton of money and you're able to pay off your loan with the bank, you're welcome to do so without a penalty on it.
Put all this together, the interest, the property taxes, and the insurance. You have to make like 300% on the sale of your house to break even before you even pay a realtor.
The fact that you have to break even at 300% of your purchase price when you sell the property, I disagree with that wholeheartedly, because a home is not an investment for everybody. A home is a place where they're going to raise their family, they're going to create memories, they're going to have holidays, they're going to have family dinners. It's a roof over their head. Yes, if we're talking on an investment basis, it's completely different. But if this is your primary residence, this is your home. So it pays to maintain it, to keep it up to date, to fix things in it, yes, it can get expensive, but that's only if you decide to go ahead and spend more than you have. But other than that, when you're looking to sell, homes in general appreciate over the long term because a house is a long-term investment. It is not an investment that you make today and you're going to make profit tomorrow. This is a long-term investment, and the investment return is not just in dollars, but it's also emotional because of all the memories you've made, the family that you've raised in there, and the holidays you've spent inside this house.